It's important to help us generate resources. And the reality is, for us to compete at the level that we want to compete at and provide our coaches and our student athletes with the resources to be successful, we've got to generate resources, and Giving Day is a big part of that.
Yeah, it's huge for us. You know, we want to be right there in the middle of the American Conference, or the top of the American Conference, to be able to compete from a resource standpoint. And I think what we've been given from our athletic department and President Carson, like, we're right there. But the difference could be, you know, what comes in on this day, what comes in through the year to our football program to give us the best chance to be successful. If we want to win, and it sounds like everybody wants to win, that's the goal here, graduate student athletes and win, that's like our two most common goals. It's necessary. We have to have it. When you're recruiting a student athlete, you're recruiting a family and decision makers and high school coaches, and they want to see the whole package, right? They're not going to go to a place that just has a couple things or is just good at this. You know, we want to be able to show them, we're going to feed them well, going to have their bodies trained correctly, mental training, spiritual training, great academics, but also be able to, you know, compensate them in some ways as their career develops and they become good players. So I think it comes from the entire package for us is like he said, world-class experience. We want it all. We don't want to be short in any category. And for us to get that, April 8th would be huge for that.
I think it's important in my role to provide the resources to match our expectations. And our expectations are going to be to win at the top of the American Conference. And so we've got to be able to generate that level of resources to provide our coaches and our staff the opportunity to perform at that level. And Giving Day and the support of our donors are a critical piece to that. So that we can generate those additional resources that really help kind of take us to the next level and give our coaches and our staff the chance to really win and compete at a level that we can all be proud of.
Yeah, too much is given, much is expected. You know, like this is an awesome job I've got. I've got an opportunity to impact young men. I get that part of it. I get the education part of it. But like, we're in the entertainment business. We're here to win games. And when people come to our stadium on Saturdays, there's an expectation that there's a product out there that's competitive with every team we play against. And we are in a very unique spot right now in college athletics, and we want to make sure we're positioning ourselves over the next 4 to 6 years to be where we want to be at the top of the American Conference. And there's nobody in our building or in his building that thinks that's not possible. There's a lot of belief. There is a lot of pride in the University of Tulsa and TU and what's gone on here in the past and how rich the tradition is. Maybe not so much as of recent, but we feel like in our building we think we can get there as soon as possible. And for us to position ourselves over the next few years to be entertaining, to be competitive, to win, all those things really matter. Now, we want to graduate these kids and impact them, there's no doubt about it. But to win, we got to have the support.
Yeah, I think, look, right now this is a critical time in college athletics. And we have to do a great job at the University of Tulsa of building our program up to put ourselves in position to have a lot of options. We know that there's going to be a lot of changes coming down the pipe with college athletics. And again, we've got to get our athletic department in as healthy of a position as possible over the next 5 to 6 years so that we can position ourselves to have great options. We understand the expectations of our fans and our donors, and believe me, we want to win as much as anybody, and we need their help and support to generate the additional resources to really be able to support our coaches and our student athletes so that we can compete at that championship level and have a program that everybody can be proud of, and we cannot do that without their generous support.
April 8th, Giving Day is huge. I see it as a day to get us off the ground. You know, it gets us to a spot where we're competitive in the American Conference from a financial standpoint, in all areas, okay? But also I understand winning helps, right? I haven't had the opportunity to coach a game yet. There's gonna have to be some faith and trust here from the donor base that, hey, I like this guy we've hired, I like this new athletic director, let's put some juice into this thing. April 8th to me is getting the helicopter off the ground. Once we're off the ground, I think the sky's the limit, and it's my job to get it to take off and go to new levels. Like, that is my job, and I take that very seriously. But April 8th is important just to allow us to have a chance to compete this season and in the seasons moving forward. When we win, more money is going to come in. I get that. But right now I'm undefeated, and you've got to realize that you've hired a really good football coach and a really good staff. I feel really good about our team right now. April 8th gets the helicopter off the ground.
Giving Day is an important part of helping us attract and retain great student athletes. And in today's world, the reality is they have options, and if they want to leave and go somewhere else, they can. And so it's our job to, one, create a culture both within the football program and within our teams, but also within the department that student athletes want to be a part of. And what goes into that is providing them with a world-class experience, making sure that they have great places to live, that they have great support. We're providing them high-level nutrition, academic support, sports medicine and mental health support, so that they feel like this is a place where they can really develop and become the best version of themselves. And so that's our job as the administration, to provide those resources and make it a culture and a place that student athletes want to be a part of, because they have too many options. If they don't, it's easy to go somewhere else. And so donor support, again, really gives us that next edge to provide those resources at a level that the student athletes really want to be a part of.
Don't lose faith in college athletics. That's what I would tell a lot of the donors. Like, it's still going to be in a really good spot. There's still a lot of people in the room with a voice that understand what's going on. For us to have the competitive edge, we got to be in that top third in almost every financial category, whether that's facilities, like he's talking about, nutrition, strength and conditioning, wellness, training room, all the stuff that goes into being a great student athlete and developing players. Like, we want to develop young men. We want to bring an 18-year-old in, potentially redshirt him, have him play for us and put up great numbers for years to come. And when he graduates here, he's a part of an alumni base that in this area is as strong as one as I've ever seen. And there's a lot of people that really care a lot about TU. And I think that's important to our players, and we're trying to get that point across to them.
We are very optimistic. We are working hard every day, and I can promise you that nobody wants to be successful more than we do. We have a very good plan that we feel really good about to help support our coaches and our student athletes. And I would just say our message is we can absolutely win at a high level at the University of Tulsa. And we absolutely need the donors' help to make that happen. And so I would say it's a team effort. We've got great coaches in place. We're recruiting and retaining great student athletes. We're going to have a great plan. We're going to work extremely hard. But I think the biggest message is we can absolutely win here, and we will.